Looking at this graph, there are quite a few variations. One thing I can see is that the graph shifts down by 1. The amplitude is 2. Also, because of this negative sign, it's going to reflect across the horizontal axis. I'm not saying across the x-axis because that x-axis has been shifted down by 1. It's a sine curve, so it's going to start in the middle. And then the 3x minus pi over 3 is going to change the period, and it's also going to shift the graph to the right. To figure that out, I'm going to set that equal to 0, since that's where the graph would normally start at. Do the algebra, solve that for x, we get x equals pi over 9. So that's where the first period is going to be starting. Figure out where the first period ends. Then set that equal to 2 pi. So be good with your common denominators. 3x is equal to 7 pi over 3 once we move that to the right. Then divide both sides by 3, we get 7 pi over 9. So first period starts, second period starts. I can do that one more time. That 3x minus pi over 3 equal to 4 pi. But as I look at what's going on here, I can see that those first two changed by 6 pi over 9. If I add 6 pi over 9 onto that one, that would be 13 pi over 9. That's because the period is 6 pi over 9 or 2 pi over 3. I could have figured that out earlier. Set up the axes. The whole graph is shifting down by 1. So the new line of equilibrium at x or y equals -1. Amplitude is 2, so the highest point we can get up to when the y value is +1. The lowest value we can get down to is -3. So I can see that it stretches up and down by 2 from that line of equilibrium. The x value it starts at is 1 pi over 9. First period will end at 7 pi over 9. Second period will end at 13 pi over 9. And then for the points, because it is a sine curve, we know it's going to start and end in the middle. Halfway through, we'll be back in the middle again. And then in the sine curve, normally it goes up first, but because of the negative, because of the reflection, it's actually going to go down first. So those are our critical points for the first period. And then we can do that again for the second period. And then we can connect those points together, make the smooth curve. And there are 2 complete periods of this graph.